actually cares.
They're just like, what croissant am I? Right? They just do the quiz. Like, pick the croissant and we'll tell you which Kardashian sister you look like. And it's like, Becky, you're not going to look like any of them, no matter how many croissants
you're going to be looking like the fat Kardashian and you're looking at croissants.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're going to take it up a few notches right now. See if y'all can keep up.
What's up? And welcome to episode 37 of the ScruffCast.
I don't like this, man.
You don't like it? No?
No bueno.
What do you mean, no bueno?
You want to just keep this thing going?
I guess. All right. I'm Jon.
And I'm Dan.
And that's how the sausage gets made. Sometimes we don't like it, but we just keep rolling with the punches.
That's it.
All right.
Hold on. Before we even get into anything, speaking of rolling with the punches.
Yeah.
No, not really, but like, we've talked about this before. We brought this up earlier this year, in February, I believe it was.
Okay.
For any of our golf fans out there,
the
GOAT is back!
Yes, Tiger Woods.
Oh my God.
Wins his first tournament in over 5 years, and he almost won the FedEx Cup.
Incredible. The final tournament of the year, and he wins it.
In true, sports classic story fashion. He waits till the end of the year.
I know. Just great.
Just a little
I'm sure
Tiger
there's some women who listen to this who probably don't like Tiger Woods that much because
Tiger Woods,
because of his personal life.
He drove his Escalade into the bushes. Well, you know what?
I wish his wife hit him with that golf club.
They're just jealous because they're probably ugly.
Agreed.
And Tiger Woods wouldn't want to drive his Escalade away from them. Anyways, getting back to our regularly scheduled ScruffCast.
Mm-hmm.
We kick it off with the question to ponder, which the listeners can write into us at scruffcast@gmail.com. And this week, none of them did. So it'll be just
bunch
us.
of bums.
So the question to ponder for this week is, if you were the first person to land on Mars, what would you say? Like, what would be your first iconic words? Like how Neil Armstrong, when he landed on the moon, said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." What would your words be, Dan?
Okay, I got to remember them because I just thought of this about 5 minutes before we started recording. What was it? Okay, maybe you go first. I'm going to try to remember what mine was. I should have just wrote it down. That probably would have been
So I had a tough time because I was thinking, like, do I want it to be, something epic? Like
I got it. Hold on.
What is
Before I lose it.
Okay.
Ready? I may be the first, but I most certainly won't be the last.
That was very good.
That's not bad, right?
I had a tough time coming up with mine, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to be like something, like very noble, very epic, like in the vein of yours, or like something, maybe a little more jokey, like, what's that? Cut the feed. Then they're just back on Earth, like, what the? And then come back in 10 minutes later. We have fun over here. Scruffcast@gmail.com.
On Mars.
Where
the first one's going to Mars, obviously.
Yeah. I liked yours. That was a good pick.
Thank you.
If I had to go with something like more historic, I think it'd be something along those lines, or like, this is one small step for man, one bigger leap than that Neil Armstrong guy for mankind.
Can you imagine that was
you just one up him? NASA would be like, you're staying there.
One small leap for the universe.
All right. So, the question made me think about, how we went to the moon. Well, not we. That would have been awesome. But humans went to the moon 50 years ago, and then we've never been back. And then they were like, I imagine by the time we hit the year 2000, we'll be like living on Mars and stuff. And we've never gone back. And that's because in the 60s, it was all like, U.S. versus Russia, the space race and stuff. And then once they land on the moon, they're like, all right, we can wind it down. We don't got to beat anybody. Yeah. In today's society, I think if you wanted to get the space race kicked off again, you'd have to go to the moon or go to Mars and stick a flag in there that just said, like, Trump's the best. Then everybody would be losing it.
Or Trump sucks.
Either way,
then you'd get him.
Exactly. You just have to pick a side and then go up there. You, like, stick a flag, like a rainbow, like LGBT flag in there. They'd be like, whoa, I don't know if I like where space is going now. And then they would put all the resources
all
in.
These crazy Christian rednecks trying to shoot off bottle rockets of themselves into space. I'm going to get there.
Yeah, that's how you get there.
Speaking of that, I was going to add an article this week. but I didn't do it. It's been too sad. But I'm going to talk about it anyway.
Sure.
I read something today of a girl in England, I think it was, who killed herself like 4 years ago because she was a lesbian. She was like 14 or 15 years old. She killed herself because she felt she wasn't going to be accepted by Christians, like her Christian church or whatever. So 4 years later, her church has decided to become like totally inclusive to everybody kind of thing. And 25 people protested by like leaving the church about like it accepting gays.
Really?
Yeah. Just
like, oh, we're not on board with this. So then what are they going to do?
Who cares if that girl killed herself? Like,
hey, you can diddle the kids all you want, but the gays, no bueno.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous.
Touching little boys isn't that big a deal. But don't let those boys touch each other.
Yeah, I don't know. The church has got to sort itself out.
Yeah, we'll do a whole special on that.
Yeah, I like the
day.
idea of doing the like one-off special episodes about different topics.
We keep talking about it, but
listeners, write into ScruffCast@gmail.com and tell us what you'd like to see as a special one-off episode.
You pick a topic, and we'll do our normal, minimal research about it, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, just give you all the quips, the hot takes. That's what it's all about here on the ScruffCast.
Yeah.
All right. Now, longtime listeners of the podcast may know that we have a list of banned topics.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, 2 topics are banned in the ScruffCast lore. The first one is Logan Paul.
Oh, right, yeah.
The second and only other banned topic is Ticketmaster. But those dirty bastards have managed to get us to unban them.
Lifting the ban on.
Temporary lift of the ban because they're up to some shady stuff.
They are.
And as usual, I found the article and didn't read it so I could learn along with the listeners.
Well, in fairness, you didn't find the article.
No, that's true. I didn't find the article. It was sent to us by a listener.
It was?
And let me pull up the email because I only opened the article. Sorry, listener. I know you're out there thinking, are they going to read my article?
All excited. We are.
Well,
but John's trying to steal credit.
Yes, I'm very sorry. So, the subject of the email was Ticketmaster shenanigans. And the content said, I know this subject is a bit played out. Long-time listener, he knows of the main topic.
Knows.
And that you might be tired of talking about it. But this is some next-level horseshit that I think Dan will be especially rattled at. Ooh, Dan, he's calling you out. You're going to be especially rattled.
Yeah. And I have already read this. I found it... I saw it, I guess, when it kind of first came out. Before he even sent this in, I read it. But even I was like, it's a banned topic. We can't bring it back on. But
it's requested by the listeners.
Requested.
We give the people what they want. So, this is a CBC article that says, a public relations nightmare. Ticketmaster recruits pros for secret scalper program. CBC goes undercover at industry convention in Las Vegas to expose ticket giant's new scheme. Box office giant Ticketmaster is recruiting professional scalpers who cheat its own system to expand its resale business and squeeze more money out of fans, a CBC News and Toronto Star investigation reveals. In July, the news outlet sent a pair of reporters undercover to Ticket Summit 2018, a ticketing and live entertainment convention at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. Man, they really have conventions for everything.
I know, yeah.
Posing as scalpers and equipped with hidden cameras, the journalists were pitched on Ticketmaster's professional reseller program. Company representatives told them Ticketmaster's resale division turns a blind eye to scalpers who use ticket buying bots and fake identities to snatch up tickets and then resell them on the site for inflated prices. Those pricey resale tickets include extra fees for Ticketmaster.
Of course.
I have brokers that have literally a couple of hundred accounts, one sales representative said. It's not something that we look at or report. CBC shared its findings with Alan Cross, a veteran music journalist and host of the radio program The Ongoing History of New Music, who suspects that the ticket-buying public will be far from impressed. This is going to be a public relations nightmare, he says. He said there have been, and this is in quotes here, whispers of this in the ticket-selling community, but it's never been outlined quite like this before. It does seem a bit stinky, doesn't it? Now, there have been whispers because this is one of the things we talked about before. Because we said maybe it would be in their best interest.
Of course.
Because they get the tickets bought once, and then the tickets get sold again. They don't care because
I think one of the things
they get fees again.
One of the things we talked about before is now they have their own resale site.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. So it's like their own StubHub in a sense, right? So people can take the tickets they buy off their site and then repost them onto their resale site. Which just means, they get... It's not even double the service charges, it's more than that.
Yeah, because Ticketmaster doesn't care how much you paid to actually go sit there and watch the concert or whatever, because they get their money when these scalpers buy the tickets, the same way they'd get their money if somebody else got in before these bots, and then they'll get their money from fees when the scalpers resell them to
for 3 times the amount.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they're they're getting 3 times the amount of service fees again.
Yeah, which is
right.
Which is
the service fee percentage is the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's say it's like
on the same ticket,
1%. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
it's probably higher than that though. 2% per ticket. Let's just say.
Yeah.
So let's say the ticket's $100, 2% of $100. But let's say when it gets resold, it's $400. It's still 2% of $400.
Yeah. So they're double dipping.
Yeah.
Those double dippers. So there's a little more details in the article here. By partnering with scalpers, Ticketmaster has done an about-face from its position of less than a decade ago when then CEO Irving Azov told U.S. legislators, "I believe that scalping and resales should be illegal," because they probably weren't able to resell back then. 2 floors above the slot machines and blackjack tables at Caesars Palace, Ticketmaster was one of dozens of vendors and speakers at the convention, which bills itself as a one-of-a-kind networking event for industry leaders and small businesses alike. CBC reporter Dave Seglins signed up as David Jeffrey, a small-time scalper from Toronto with a fictitious company, DGS Promotions. So I guess if you're just a professional scalper, you can just go to this convention?
Yeah.
And learn, the ways of the scalper?
Well, I guess, or how to scalp properly through Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster is pretty much like trying to get people to scalp. That's
it's in their best interest. They don't care about the end consumer at all.
Yeah, exactly.
In this case,
keep reading because there's some very interesting numbers of how much scalp tickets some of these scalpers are selling.
With hidden cameras rolling, David Jeffrey mingled with some of the world's most successful scalpers, documenting candid accounts from players inside the notoriously secretive industry. Casey Klein, Ticketmaster's resale director, held a session that was closed to the media called "We Appreciate Your Partnership. More brokers are listing with Ticketmaster than ever before." The audience heard that Ticketmaster has developed a professional reseller program and within the past year launched Trade Desk, a web-based inventory management system for scalpers. The company touts it as the most powerful ticket sales tool ever. Trade Desk allows scalpers to upload large quantities of tickets purchased from Ticketmaster's site and quickly list them again for resale. With the click of a button, scalpers can hike or drop prices on reams of tickets on Ticketmaster's site based on their assessment of fan demand. Oh, this is extremely shady.
I know.
Neither Trade Desk nor the professional reseller program are mentioned anywhere on Ticketmaster's website or in its corporate reports. To access the company's Trade Desk website, a person must first send in a registration request. There's a link here to the website, I believe, but you probably need to send in one of these requests.
Yeah.
Maybe we should try our hand at that.
I'm going to click on it.
ScruffCast side hustle.
Keep talking. Register. Right. Most powerful ticket sales tool ever. First name, Scruff.
Last name, Cast. Not building a better mousetrap.
Company
That's the name of the next section.
ScruffCast.
On the trade show floor, a handful of Ticketmaster salespeople handed out cupcakes, and at 2 cubicle workstations, they provided online demonstrations of Trade Desk. One of the presenters, who was unaware he was speaking with undercover journalists, insisted that Ticketmaster's resale division isn't interested in whether clients use automated software and fake identities to bypass the box office's ticket buying limits. If you want to get a good show and the ticket limit is 6 or 8, you're not going to make a living on 6 or 8 tickets, he said. This is extremely shady. So, the bots is one thing, right? And that's obviously some rampant problem. And then there's, the case can be made on whether it's legal or illegal. But, faking identities, that's got to be against some sort of law, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay, quick question here. I'm putting a phone number in. Should I put your phone number or mine?
Which one of us do you think it will... put in my phone number, I guess.
Okay. So, I've put in the ScruffCast email for this. This is, we're doing our own little investigation right now.
Yeah, The ScruffCast, an investigative journalism podcast. Look at us go.
Yeah, I don't even know what your phone number is. I got to look it up here.
All right.
Continue.
I'll continue with the shady dealings of Ticketmaster. Well, Ticketmaster has a buyer abuse division that looks out for blatantly suspicious online activity. The presenter said the resale division doesn't police Trade Desk users. "We don't share reports, we don't share names, we don't share account information with the primary site, period," he said when asked whether he cares if scalpers use bots to buy their tickets. CBC heard the same message from a different Ticketmaster employee during an online video conference demonstration of Trade Desk at an earlier stage of the undercover investigation back in March. We've spent millions of dollars on this tool. The last thing we'd want to do is get brokers caught up to where they can't sell inventory with us, he said, when asked whether Ticketmaster will ban scalpers who thwart ticket buying limits. A direct violation of the company's terms of use. We're not trying to build a better mousetrap, he says. The next headline or subhead here is Scalping Pays. Ticketmaster, which is owned by Live Nation, the world's largest concert promoter, has made it clear to shareholders that it plans to expand further into the resale market. As part 1 of the CBC News and Toronto Star investigation revealed yesterday, so I guess this is part 2, resale tickets are a particularly lucrative market for Ticketmaster because the company charges fees twice on the same tickets. This is what we were saying before.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
You get to double dip. So, for example, if Ticketmaster collects $25.75 on a $209.50 ticket on the initial sale, when the owner posts it for resale for $400 on the site, the company stands to collect an additional $76 on the same ticket.
Jeez.
So it's a percentage-based thing, like you're saying. Right? So now Ticketmaster is getting $100 for a ticket that originally cost like $200. That's outrageous.
Yeah.
CBC News obtained a copy of Ticketmaster's official reseller handbook, which outlines these fees. It also details Ticketmaster's reward system for scalpers. As scalpers hit milestones such as 500,000 or 1 million in annual sales, Ticketmaster will knock a percentage point off its fees. So this is like totally shady.
Oh, this is like multi-million-dollar business.
Dude, if this is they're rewarding individual scalpers for hitting 500,000 or 1 million, like then imagine like what the upper limit is of like how big these scalpers are getting.
Oh, exactly.
That's insane. And then Ticketmaster is like just making all the fees, right? And they're like, oh, since you do such a good job scalping $1 million worth of
we'll take a
tickets for us,
percentage point off
We'll
for
take
you.
a percentage point off.
Yeah.
This is extremely shady.
Oh,
my God. And they actually got a copy of the handbook here, which I'd be interested to go through. The Ticketmaster employee who gave the video conference demonstration in March said 100 scalpers in North America, including a handful in Canada, are using Trade Desk to move between a few thousand and several million tickets per year. That's a lot of fees.
It's insane.
That's a lot of tickets to be double dipping these fees on.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I think our biggest broker right now has probably grabbed around 5 million, he said. 5 million tickets.
5 million tickets.
So if you're a scalper and you're making $1 a ticket, which you're definitely making more, but if you're making $1 a ticket,
It's $5 million.
that's $5 million.
I know.
And you're definitely making more.
You're making way more.
Right? So you're making at least probably $10 per ticket. So it's like
Probably
this guy's
even way
making
more. Yeah.
like 50 million.
I know.
That's an insane amount
Just
of
from
money to
scalping
be
tickets
making off
in 1
scalping
year.
online. I might look into this.
I know.
This is insane.
Well, that's why the ScruffCast emailed them.
Yeah, we're going to get to the bottom of this. Ridiculous. Cross, who I don't remember who he is from earlier in the article.
He was the
but
guy
he's in
who,
here.
the music guy.
Oh, yes, the music guy. Music Man Cross, who has spent the past 2 years researching online ticket sales, suspects some fans will read about this and conclude Ticketmaster's colluding with scalpers. On one hand, they say, we don't like bots, but on the other hand, we have all these clients who may use bots. The next subheader here is imbalance of supply and demand. Ticketmaster has declined repeated requests for an interview. CBC and the Toronto Star submitted a list of specific questions about the company's scalper program. In a statement to CBC News, the company made no mention of the program, nor did it comment on its recruitment effort in Las Vegas. On Thursday, after the story was originally published, Ticketmaster issued a second statement to CBC News. It is categorically untrue that Ticketmaster has any program in place to enable resellers to acquire large volumes of tickets at the expense of consumers, the statement said.
Man, my ass.
Ticketmaster's seller code of conduct specifically prohibits resellers from purchasing tickets that exceed the posted ticket limit for an event. So I have a feeling that they're kind of dancing around some technicalities here. It's like, oh, the seller code of conduct specifically prohibits the resellers. And while that may be true, in the code of conduct it says you can't.
Yeah.
It also says from earlier in the article that they say, you can't, but we don't care if you do.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is like,
if you can find a way around it, I mean, go for it.
oh, by the way, have you seen this Trade Desk tool which helps you get around it? Easy peasy. Like, what a bunch of shit.
I know.
However, The CBC report made no claims about a system to acquire tickets, but rather disclosed Trade Desk, an online tool that helps scalpers resell their inventory by instantly syncing their Ticketmaster.com accounts to upload already purchased event seats onto resale websites, including Ticketmaster. Mm-hmm. The company also said Thursday that even before the publications of the CBC story, it had already begun an internal review of professional reseller accounts and employee practices. In an earlier statement to CBC, Ticketmaster did say that as long as there is an imbalance between supply and demand for live events, there will inevitably be a second market.
Which I get.
Yeah, that. Which makes sense. But they're kind of like puffing smoke up their ass here as they go, as the world's leading ticketing platform, representing thousands of teams, artists, and venues, we believe it is our job to offer a marketplace that provides a safe and fair place for fans to shop, buy, and sell tickets in both the primary and secondary markets, wrote Catherine Martin, Senior Vice President of Communications, based in LA. But Richard Powers, awesome name, associate professor at the University of Toronto's Rotman School of Management, says that what Ticketmaster is doing is unethical. I agree.
Yeah.
With its near monopoly on box office tickets, Ticketmaster should not also be allowed to profit from the scalping of those same tickets, he says. Helping to create a secondary market where purchasers are duped into paying higher prices and securing themselves a second commission should be illegal. For Alan Cross, the program raises a series of ethical questions. Is this a legitimate form of commerce? Does it violate any consumer protection laws? I would say so. Is it transparent and fair to consumers? I would say definitely not, considering we didn't even know this thing existed. And we talked about Ticketmaster so much they were a banned topic.
Yeah, I know.
It is probably going to trigger some questions, he said, and if not from governments, certainly from the general public. Well, we're here telling the general public about Ticketmaster's shady shenanigans.
God damn.
Right. And I don't like it one bit.
It's like... I understand why we banned this topic now, because I'm just getting tired of even talking about it again, but
because it's like,
how many times do we have to say it? It's frustrating.
It's like, can you believe this? And it's like, I kind of can, because Ticketmaster is kind of shitty.
They suck.
They do.
And that's the only place you can go and buy tickets. That's it. There's no other place.
Not really. If you are a musician, right, and you're touring around, and you're selling your tickets, it's pretty much impossible to sell them on your own directly to your fans, right? You couldn't sell them on, let's say, we're a band, ScruffCast, right? Yeah. It's pretty much impossible to just sell them go to ScruffCast.com and buy the tickets
or whatever.
Yeah, because then we got to manage printing of the tickets and management of the seats or returns or whatever. All that shit.
You just hire this company and they promote it too.
They promote it. They do all that stuff,
exactly,
right? So it's way easier. For you. They take their fee and you go oh, perfect, and now it's much easier for my fans to get in there.
Yeah.
So you're kind of screwed. You really have no choice. Or imagine it's these big sports teams. They probably could do it on their own, but why go through the hassle? Give Ticketmaster a little fee. Ticketmaster does all that shit on their own.
It's way easier.
Right?
I get it, but I hope, I don't know, I hope something gets done. I don't think it will.
I don't know, because they're pretty much just outright lying.
Yeah, and they're saying oh, this isn't true. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right? They're as the best ticketing platform out there, we owe it to our users to give them a primary and secondary market experience. Yeah, I don't like the sounds of this one bit.
We'll see what happens. We'll see if we get contact from them.
Yeah, I'll be very interested. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're getting a shit ton of emails flowing in their way.
Yeah, probably. We're probably going to hear nothing back.
But how many of them are just coming from random people? Where ours are coming from? The ScruffCast.
At gmail.com.
A reputable business where you can search us up and find 36 other episodes.
37 once this one's released.
Yes, that's quite correct. I do say so. Good job. All right.
Moving on.
All right. Back in the band topic.
Yeah, it's banned.
They're back in the bin.
Hopefully
never want to open
now.
them again.
Yeah.
All right.
Trade Desk, on the other hand, is that what it's called?
Trade Desk. Trade Desk is a new topic.
That's a new topic. It doesn't count towards
Doesn't.
Ticketmaster.
All right. On to another article here. Maine restaurant, as in Maine the state, Maine. Maine restaurant to get lobsters high off marijuana smoke before killing them. In quotes here, it says, it is more humane. This comes from Fox News. Charlotte's, a legendary lobster pound in Maine, currently offers its lobsters steamed or boiled, but the owner is really hoping you'll enjoy them baked out of their skulls.
Oh.
So cheesy. Charlotte Gill, who owns who opened Charlotte's legendary lobster pound in Southwest Harbor 7 years ago, is experimenting with getting the lobsters high off marijuana smoke before killing and cooking them, believing it to be more humane than the traditional methods. I feel bad when lobsters come here. There is no exit strategy.
Then why would you open a lobster restaurant?
Gil told Mount Desert Islander.
Idiot.
Why would you open a legendary lobster pound? If you feel, I feel bad when lobsters come here. There is no exit strategy. The exit strategy is you cook them and sell them.
That's the right.
What's this lady thinking?
Are you trying? Do you want these lobsters to escape?
Yeah, what?
You're gonna lose money, you idiot.
People come in and she's like, "Oh, sorry, I just feel bad for the lobsters.
They all just crawled away." And like I'm looking at, there's a picture of this place here, and like, it's literally just like a diner. I'm sorry, my voice is all crazy. It's like just like a I wouldn't even call it a diner. It's like a hot dog stand almost.
Yeah, like for
lobsters.
For listeners out there, like when you'll see like a Dairy Queen. Right, and you can kind of just go up, order your food, but then you sit like outside and eat it. That's what it looks like.
An old school thing. Yeah, that's what this is.
There's no actual place to sit inside, right?
All right.
Anyway, so she said, I feel bad that when lobsters come here, there is no exit strategy. It's a unique place, and you get to do such unique things, but at the expense of this little creature. I've really been trying to figure out how to make it better. This lady is making no sense.
Yeah.
In the restaurant's first experiment into the process, a lobster, nicknamed Roscoe, was placed into a box with a few inches of water at the bottom, and marijuana smoke was then blown through the water into the box. Gil, also a licensed medical marijuana caregiver in the state of Maine, claims Roscoe was much calmer and less aggressive for the subsequent 3 weeks and didn't try to attack the other lobsters in his tank, even though his claws were unbound. She later released Roscoe to the sea as a thank you, according to the Islander. Okay, so you know what? Roscoe made out pretty well. He got high for 3 weeks, and then he just got to go back out to his people.
And then he died because he was off guard.
Probably.
In the ocean, and something came by and ate him.
Yeah. He's just like, oh, it's so chill. I hang out in the tank, and nobody bugs me. I see the other ones get picked away, but I'm just living free. And then, whoosh, just gets eaten.
Shark. Maybe. I don't know if sharks are up there, but...
But, well, would a shark eat a lobster? I wonder, like, what is the natural, like, what naturally preys on a lobster?
Humans?
Humans catch them, but, like...
Such like a hard shell, and there's, like, not really a ton of meat in there for an animal.
Yeah, I feel
like a fish, a fish is easier to swim by. Just, eat the fish. That's it.
Comes
as
up,
a shark, right? Oh,
got him.
Thank you. Have a couple.
But like I feel like if it wasn't for humans, like lobsters would probably just be overpopulating the sea. Like they got it pretty good out there. Like I can't imagine anything eating them.
Did you know there's a certain type of lobster, and we take its blood? You know what? I don't even remember actually what.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, look up the rest yourselves. That's all I got for you. Lobsters and blood. There's a certain type of lobster, and we use its blood for some type of medicine that's like super important for us. And if like we didn't have their blood, we'd be screwed.
This sounds like a super interesting fact, but we're missing all the pivotal details.
We're missing everything necessary.
If we have any marine biologists who listen to the podcast, hit us up, ScruffCast@gmail.com. We must have someone
who does something important.
Yeah, like, we never have we always put out the call. If we have one of these, if we have a doctor listening, if we have a flight attendant listening, blah, 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 whatever. I don't know if we've ever said flight attendant, but email us, ScruffCast@gmail.com, or tweet us on Twitter at ScruffCast. And they never do. I wonder if they're not even out there. Anyways, so Gil, she got hotboxed Roscoe and then set him free to the ocean, and he probably met his demise within 5 to 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So following the tests, she dedicated a special outdoor station to sedating the lobsters with THC-infused smoke, but only at the customer's requests. In the future, she plans to build an even larger tank in order to sedate multiple crustaceans at once. The animal is already going to be killed, said Gil. It is far more humane to make it a kinder passage.
I don't know if it is, though.
This lady sounds like she's a little off her rocker.
Yeah.
So, Gil also believes this method won't actually impart the edible lobster meat with THC, as the lobsters will be steamed before being served, thus destroying any residual traces. THC breaks down completely by 392 degrees. Therefore, we will use both steam as well as a heat process that will expose the meat to 420 degrees extended temperature in order to ensure there is no possibility of carryover effect, even though the likelihood of such would be literally impossible. I'm not selling an edible, she added.
Why would she open a lobster store?
Yeah, like there's no exit strategy. That's like the weirdest one. Like when I think of exit strategy, I'm thinking of, like maybe a professional sports team like signing a player. There's no exit strategy. Like what are they going to do? Now they got too many players on the roster. I don't picture somebody like opens Legendary Lobster Pound or something.
And then says there's no exit strategy for the lobsters.
I feel bad for these lobsters. They come here and then I just sell them and make tons of money.
Well, she's probably high when she thought of this idea. And she's getting all the lobsters high.
I guess. Like, this lady's crazy. So, we're reading some of the comments on the article here. The top one says, "This would be animal abuse. Just because the woman blows pot smoke in her dog's face does not mean she can do it to wild animals for some good that she has imagined." She seems like the type. And then another one comments here and says, "They don't have lungs or a brain, two essential components for this to work." Now, I can't confirm or deny that, but I would not be surprised if it was like biologically impossible for lobsters to get high.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprising.
Maybe the lobster was more calm because, like, I don't know, he just didn't know what the hell was going on.
Oh, I have another interesting fact that I know a little more about instead of blue lobster. So I read an article the other day where they gave octopuses.
Octopi, you were correct.
Octopies. Pies?
Octopi, just one.
Octopi.
Yeah.
They gave octopi.
I think each octopus is like a slice, but together they make a pie.
Good one.
That was a good one. Listeners, let me know.
So they gave octopi MDMA.
Okay.
And ecstasy. They gave like small doses to them, and it made them like much more sociable. Because apparently they're like very antisocial animals.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Octopi.
Yeah, they're like super antisocial, and so like the octopi were like seen like hugging each other, like wrapping their gills around each other and stuff like that. But there was one where they gave like too much to it; it just started like changing colors rapidly, like freaking out. That's it. That's all it was.
That's a little bizarre.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny.
That'd be an interesting study. Yeah, then many other of the comments go on to say just pretty much the same thing, telling this lady that she's crazy. So they want to make it paranoid before they kill it? Animal abuse. Oh, they have drugged me, and I just hope they don't Bill Cosby me. Wait, looks like they have a knife. Are they going to do what I think they are? Oh, no.
Oh,
I guess it's the
okay. Relax, lady.
Relax, Ryan Texan.
All right, man.
This is just a bizarre story.
Yeah.
Another good comment here from Scruffy Don, who isn't one of us, but says, "Update on Roscoe. He sits on his mom's couch all day playing Xbox." Not bad, but get real. We all know it's all about that PlayStation.
That was funny.
And then somebody just replied, said, "That was awesome, LOL." All right. From one ridiculous animal-related story to another. This one comes to us from Newsweek.com. Colorado Buffalo's mascot shoots himself in the groin after
Wait.
The wrong.
Colorado Buffalo? Which one is it? Colorado or Buffalo?
It's like the team is Buffaloes. I don't know why you'd want to name yourself after one of the stinkiest cities out there.
Yep. The Colorado Buffaloes. Continue.
Yes, but their mascot, who's a buffalo. Colorado Buffalo's mascot shoots himself in the groin after pointing cannon the wrong way. Mascots are a staple of sporting events. Regardless of whether you're waiting for a local college football matchup, the first game of the Stanley Cup, or a crucial Game 7 in the NBA playoffs, mascots are as quintessential to U.S. sports as fantasy leagues and queues at the concession stands. That entire first paragraph there was written just so this article can be more than, he had the cannon the wrong way.
Yeah, super unnecessary.
Yeah, that I'm on to you.
There's going to be a lot of garbage in this.
Dan Cancian from Newsweek. If you're listening, you're on my list. Anyways.
You just made the list, you stupid idiot.
You better listen up. All right. Most mascots... Oh, he's like setting... He's Stephen King here. He's setting the atmosphere.
All right.
Most mascots try to whip up the atmosphere, pose with young ones for a few pictures, and goof around with fans of the team on the road. Recently, however, mascots have also taken on a commercial role, including firing T-shirts, caps, or other paraphernalia from novelty cannons and into the crowd. And that's when things can go wrong. Badly wrong, in fact. The Colorado Buffaloes mascot found out for himself on Saturday when he accidentally shot himself straight in the nads with a t-shirt cannon that was facing the wrong way. Instead of aiming the cannon towards the crowd, Chip the Buffalo had accidentally pointed the cannon toward his nuts.
Right towards his dick.
I'll have it because I'm editing these sentences here.
To make it worse, actually.
Yes.
Normally you edit it the other way, but...
He accidentally pointed the cannon straight towards his dick. As a result, instead of the expected result of t-shirts landing onto the stands, he only succeeded in inflicting some serious damage onto himself. That was a long way to say he just shot himself in the nuts.
Jesus.
This guy definitely wants
excruciating.
He definitely has like high aspirations for being a writer, and they're like, "All right, we got a story for you here. Chip the Buffalo pointed the wrong way, shot himself right in the gonads," and he's like, "I've got it.
I've got the story, boss."
A clip that was posted on Twitter and quickly went viral shows the unfortunate incident. Poor Chip went down like the proverbial sack of potatoes and had to be carted off to the locker room to receive treatment. They had to bring out the little stretcher van thing for him. It wasn't all bad news, though, as the intrepid, or foolish, depending on one's point of view, Buffalo received a standing ovation as he was being stretchered off, and the Buffaloes then secured a 45-13 win over New Hampshire. I don't think the guy shooting himself in the nuts had anything to do with the score of the game. Ben.
No.
Chip wasn't the first mascot to be involved.
No, we're not reading any more about these mascots.
But in 2003,
this idiot just goes on to tell
Harvey the Hound.
More stories about other mascots. This was an unnecessary article to write in the first place. Just post the video. Just post the video of the guy getting hit in the nuts. We don't need to read about it. Just post the video. We get it. Did the guy die after he got hit in the nuts? No.
Wouldn't it be amazing, though, if he did? Or he only had one nut?
I'd be worried, man.
Chip the One Nut Buffalo. Ever since the T-shirt incident of 18, he hasn't been the same. Oh, wobbly one nut buffalo.
He used to be Chips. Now he's just Chip.
Now he's just Chip with one P. They had to stop serving peanuts at the concessions. He's getting triggered.
All right, yeah, let's just move past this.
Yeah, it goes on to like tell some other story about like
other mascots getting hurt,
other mascots arrested for crowd surfing, and just making stuff, like, not making stuff up, but just being like, oh, how can I get more of an article? So
I've already closed it. I'm moved on mentally.
All right, Dan Cancian of Newsweek. Boom, you just made the list. All right, on to another article about animals.
We're all about the animals today.
We are all about the animals today. So, sorry, I had a misconfiguration of my computer over here. I'm not very much a tech guy. All right, from firstcoastnews.com. Saving pets without a permit? Good Samaritan arrested after helping animals survive Florence, the hurricane, not the machine. As Hurricane Florence...
I didn't get that reference.
I didn't get that either. You know what?
Florence and the Machines. Oh,
yeah,
all right. That was not bad.
Due to the delay in you reacting, I thought maybe I had messed up the reference, and I was like,
"No, I don't think you did."
Isn't it Rage Against the Machine? But that's it.
There's also one of those.
Okay. The ScruffCast, the jokes, they're multi-layered here.
All right. Layered, we don't even know.
Yes. As Hurricane Florence barreled toward the Carolina coast, Tammy Hedges took action to protect pets that might have otherwise been caught in the storm, a decision that led to her arrest. Hedges, a resident of Wayne County, North Carolina, was taken into custody Friday after providing care to more than 24 animals, 17 cats, and 10 dogs. That's 27 total for the listeners. Providing care to more than 24 animals for owners who had to evacuate before the storm hit. The owners got to evacuate. They got to save themselves. But who's going to save those animals? That's what we did, Hedges said. We saved them. The owner of, this is a great business name, Crazy's Claws and Paws, a donation-based animal rescue center, was in the process of converting a warehouse space into a proper animal shelter when she decided to use the building to help keep pets dry. However, her facility was not legally registered as a shelter. Our mission was to save as many animals from the flood that we could, Hedges said. We went through Hurricane Matthew, and it was horrible. There were many preventable deaths. She said an elderly couple dropped off 18 of the animals. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Some of which were sick and injured just before the storm. So these old people are just like, oh, the storm's coming, honey. We best get out. Well, rally, wrangle up the 18 cats and dogs and drop them off at Crazy Claus and Paws. We gotta go.
Probably not their animals. It could just be animals they found, right?
So these old people are...
They're the OG Good Samaritans.
These old people are evacuating, and they're like, oh, look, there's another cat. There's another cat. Toss it in the back of the... Toss in the back of the van,
Collecting
Matilda.
cats, yeah.
And then the old man, dude, he was up on it the whole time. He's like, we're going to get busted if we get pulled over with all these animals. Drop them off at Crazy Claus and Paws.
Drop them off. They'll get in trouble.
And then we'll be scot-free out of Florence. So on Monday, after Florence passed, Hedges got a call from Wayne County Animal Control regarding the animals. He basically told me, you can voluntarily hand over the animals, or I can go get a warrant, Hedges said. She willingly surrendered the animals. Oh, well, she really didn't stick to her convictions. Just gave up these poor animals to the police. Okay. A few days later, they called me in for questioning, and yesterday they arrested me, Hedges said. The charges included 12 counts of practicing medicine without a veterinary license, which leads me to believe that only 12 of the 27 animals were treated.
Yeah, I guess. That's all she had time for before they came and arrested her.
The nonprofit updated the Facebook status to break down the charges. 1 count of administering amoxicillin to Big Mama. 1 count of administering tramadol to Big Mama. 3 counts of administering amoxicillin to a white Siamese cat. 3 counts of administering a topical antibiotic ointment, triple antibiotic from Dollar Tree, to a white Siamese cat. 3 counts of administering amoxicillin to a cat known as Sweet Pea. One count of it. This is a very Carolina names. 1 count of administering amoxicillin to an unnamed black kitten. How did they know the names of all these cats? And 1 count of solicitation to commit a crime. The nonprofit writes. It was all over-the-counter stuff you could literally find at Dollar Tree. An animal rescue volunteer said, who started a crowdfunding campaign for Hedges to help cover the legal fees. She couldn't get the animals to the vet because the vet was closed. All the charges are bogus. Just days before the good deed went punished, the unregistered shelter was seeking volunteers to help take care of rescue animals. So they can spread the blame for their heinous crimes. Way to go, Hedges. Please share this for anyone in Wayne County or nearby areas that may need a place to stay or be able to help. If they have a pet and need some place to go, or just like animals and are in need of a place to stay, we'd love to help them in exchange for their overnight help. Wait, so how are you helping them? The center posted on Facebook. Anyway, so pretty much the gist of it is, this woman was trying to save the animals. Kind of a nice thing to do. Nobody wants these animals to get stuck in the hurricane and die.
No.
And then she gets arrested for it and gets charged. With, 1 charge of administering amoxicillin to Big Mama.
Well, Jesus, what the hell were the rest of you doing? You know what I mean? This woman's out there trying to save these animals. And first off, to these people who left their animals, I wish those people died in the goddamn hurricane.
I know.
You know what I mean?
What do? You just leave? You have no time to save your...
It's mind-blowing to me, how people just leave their pets behind. What? You're hopping into your car to leave and you can't take your dog with you or your cat? They're going to take up that much space? You bunch of losers.
We don't got room in the Buick. I had to bring another pack of Oscar Mayers in case we get stranded.
Yeah, exactly. Like, bring your goddamn pets. Like, we've never had to, deal with anything this horrific where we've had to evacuate our homes, but, my parents' dog, boom, maybe the first one in the car.
Oh, yeah.
We take him over food and water, man.
Yeah.
Part of the family.
Yeah, you would never leave your kids behind.
No. I don't get it. That's what bothers me so much in the first place. People leave their goddamn pets behind. What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, I don't know. They're crazy down there. I've been to North Carolina.
Hit a sore spot in me.
And they don't have to wear motorcycle helmets.
I've also been there.
They don't have to wear motorcycle helmets. It's not legally required. But you'd think you'd wear a motorcycle helmet anyway, right? Because if you fly off your motorcycle, you're going to get killed.
Yeah.
And they just don't.
Because they're stupid.
Because they're trying to be Dog the Bounty Hunter down there.
Yeah.
Just letting their golden locks flow in the wind.
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Shaking my head.
Shaking my head as well.
All right. On to the next article.
Yep.
All right. Back to one of our favorite topics on the ScruffCast.
Shaking my belly.
Shaking my belly. We're talking about fatties. This one comes to us from telegraph.co.uk.
We get a lot of articles. You would think we subscribe to them with the amount of articles honestly, we get from the Telegraph.
If this was a legitimate side hustle where we were making money, I'd subscribe to telegraph.co.uk and write it off as a business expense.
For sure.
Yeah. Listeners, hit us up. ScruffCast@gmail.com. On Twitter @ScruffCast. Maybe you want to, show us your interest in getting merch. Then we can turn this into a real lucrative side gig. And then we can get this subscription.
That's right.
All right. Weight Watchers becomes WW following body shaming backlash. Weight Watchers has changed.
Are you ready? You ready to get back into this?
Yeah.
You got a big problem with the fatties, man. I'm just making sure you are mentally in the right space to handle this.
It takes a fatty to know a fatty. And listeners, I'm a fatty, but not a Weight Watchers
This
fatty.
is backlash and fatties all in one right here. This is your favorite.
Right in the wheel zone here.
Yeah.
In the wheelhouse.
Let's do it.
All right. Watch out, fatties. Here we come. Weight Watchers has changed its name to WW following a social media... I'm already getting heated. Social media backlash. It's not even a real backlash. People complain and the businesses just always instantly give up.
Yeah.
Which may not even be the case. I've only read half a sentence. But Weight Watchers...
They did give up because they changed their name.
I guess
Right
so.
from the title, we know they gave up.
Weight Watchers has changed its name to WW following a social media backlash, alleging the traditional title was guilty of body shaming and encouraged eating disorders. The 55-year-old company... Wow, Weight Watchers is old. 55-year-old company said the rebranding reflected a shift in focus from weight loss to overall health and well-being. However, its chief executive, Mindy Grossman, who I wonder how fat she is, was unable to explain what WW now stands for, denying suggestions that it denotes wellness that works. What? So you couldn't even explain what WW stands for? Wouldn't it just be Weight Watchers?
Well, that's what it did stand for, but now
she's denying suggestions that it denotes wellness that works.
I would
so
just
they're
say,
giving her a good suggestion.
Sure,
And she's
yeah,
no, it's not that. It's WW. It's its own thing.
That is all. Just 2 letters.
It's actually for
the largest letters in the alphabet.
Oh no, you misunderstood. It's actually 4 V's in a row. VV.
Okay.
It's not W's. All right. The move follows an online campaign which started earlier this year after Weight Watchers offered free summer memberships for teenagers. Okay, I could see how that's a little bit shady.
Oh, okay.
Right? But here's how it works. You try to get the teenagers in there, right? And they're like, look, Mom, I'm so healthy. I'm really enjoying myself. I'm, getting in good shape. And then the fatty moms are like, well, I got to get on this Weight Watchers. And
then they pay for it, and then eventually the daughter has to pay for it.
They're like, I got a little Samantha over here getting all skinny mini, and I'm all fatty patty over here.
Nothing wrong.
Right? So the promotion sparked an outcry from various eating disorder groups and a surge in the use of the hashtag Wake Up Weight Watchers.
Sounds like a morning program. Like, wake up, Buffalo. Yeah.
Wake up, Weight Watchers. What are you
just
eating today?
stay asleep, actually, Buffalo. Nothing good's happening out here.
Stay inside. It's not even the winter yet. But just stay in there anyway. So, Miss Grossman, CEO of Weight Watchers, said yesterday, "This is just a next step, a point of validation. Like any brand, we have to stay relevant." Boom. She said it exactly right there. That's exactly why they did this. They're trying to stay relevant in the age of social media backlash. Haven't you ever heard the term "get woke, go broke"? It's like these companies...
I can't say I have.
These companies try to get woke. They try to be all like, look at us. We're all inclusive and progressive and nobody's fat, nobody's this, and nobody's that. And then what happens is actual real people like us and our dedicated ScruffCast listeners don't care about all this crap. And they're just like, I'm just a regular guy. I don't care if their ads say this or that.
Because guess what?
So then they just lose the business.
The social media backlash is like the 1%.
Yeah.
The 1% just has a megaphone. That's all it is.
That's exactly
99% they don't care.
Yeah.
And that's all. It's not just this. It's all social media outrage. It's
about
the 1%
everything.
with a megaphone. Yeah.
It's the term I've heard used as the vocal minority. It might seem like everybody's thinking the same thing, but it's just because
literally nobody.
Those people are it's a minority, but they're vocal.
Yeah.
Because if you like something, you never go like, wow, good job, I really like that. And I know because our listeners never write in and tell us, right?
But they also don't tell us we're garbage.
Exactly. So our vocal minority is really small, as in non-existent. Keep it up, listeners. Good job. But yeah, this whole get woke, go broke thing is like, I was reading an article earlier this week about BuzzFeed is actually starting to run out of money and might go bankrupt. Right? They're going to have to like file for bankruptcy soon. And it's because, it's the same thing, right? They try to be all like, oh, look at this and look at that and, inclusiveness and this and that and blah, blah, blah.
But nobody actually cares.
No, they're just like, oh, what croissant am I? Right? They just do the quiz. Like, pick the croissant and we'll tell you which Kardashian sister you look like. And it's like, Becky, you're not going to look like any of them, no matter how many croissants
you're going to be looking like the fat Kardashian if you're looking at croissants.
Exactly. So, we left off with the CEO saying they had to stay relevant.
Oh, yeah.
The rebranding comes with an updating of the company's Fit Point system to encourage subscribers not to focus on weight, but to aim for healthy habits. WW has also modified its online forums to help members find like-minded subscribers, creating the echo chambers you often see of everybody yelling about the same thing online.
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey, who sits on the company's board, I didn't know this, and owns more than an 8% stake of the business, said, "The role WW can play in people's lives goes far beyond a number on a scale. As Weight Watchers becomes WW, I believe we will continue to inspire people not only to eat well, but to move more, connect with others, and continue to experience the joys of the healthy life."
Oh, Oprah.
This year's critical campaign against the use of weight was started by British actress Jamila Jamil, who I'll go out on a limb and say is probably overweight, and encourages people to count other measurements such as their friends and family. I got so many friends, I'm totally healthy.
Shut up, you loser.
The I Weigh Instagram account, born out of a different hashtag, now has 153,000 followers, which I guess is people saying like, I weigh this, I weigh that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, good for you. Ms. Grossman said, "The paradox is that everyone is talking about wellness and nobody wants to use diet or weight, but we're not getting healthier."
Yeah.
So this is the exact opposite of what she's saying before. Nobody's talking about weight. So now she's like, we got to stay relevant. We're not talking about weight anymore. This is so stupid.
Yeah.
The change comes as the government said it is considering imposing stricter regulations on the sale of laxatives amid concerns they could be abused by people suffering from eating disorders. The Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency said it would examine controls such as age limits on purchasers and a possible ban on over-the-counter sales. Evidence suggests that more than half of patients with eating disorders have misused. I'm assuming laxatives. Okay, well, eating disorders and all that, that's one thing. But changing from Weight Watchers to WW because of the backlash, this is ridiculous. I'm going to go out on a limb here and I'm going to say, is Weight Watchers a publicly traded company?
I don't know.
I'm looking it up. Okay, Weight Watchers is a publicly traded company. As of today's date of episode 37, they're trading for $72. I will say that in 6 months from now, they'll be down 25%.
Wow.
Because of this WW thing.
Okay.
Because nobody's going to know what WW is.
It's true. Weight Watchers have been around for so long.
Exactly.
Plenty of people use Weight Watchers successfully. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn! Revenue? Well, that only goes from 2013, but $1.7 billion they made.
Good for them.
That's a lot of fatties.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that they will manage to continue their success with this whole, giving into the backlash.
Like, who's it going to be? You know? Who's it going to be that stands up and just says...
That's the thing. Nobody ever stands up.
Nah. Screw you guys. We're doing what we're doing, and you don't like it, that's fine.
You know who I liked who stood up? Rob Ford.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, you're smoking crack. You got to resign.
He does his press conference. He's like, all right, guys. I'm sticking around.
Exactly.
It's like the scene in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
That's what it was like, pretty much.
People always get caught in scandals or whatever, this or that, and then, it's like, oh, they got to resign. And it's like, why? Because of the public pressure, because of the stockholders or something. In the case of being the mayor, there's no stockholders, but, you have your, constituents, right?
Yeah.
But you don't actually really have to step down, but most of the time it's just the pressure, and you do, because it's, I guess, the right thing to do, right? Because you're dealing with backlash or whatever. But I love that, right? Because he was like, okay, I'm holding a press conference, and people were like, oh, he's stepping down. And he's just like... You know what? I'm not stepping down.
I know, it was awesome.
I loved it. I was like, oh, this man's my mayor. And then unfortunately he ended up dying. But
yeah, it is what it is.
That's what
he had a good run.
Crack, I guess. But we need more of that in the world. Like, where are these people who would just stand up and say, no, you don't like Weight Watchers? Go shove it up your skinny.
Yeah, then it ain't for you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about us.
You go, create, like, why do you have to come and try and change my company, right? Why don't you create your own company, create your own, like, happy fatties company, right?
It's so
you
funny
can all be
because, like,
happy and fat.
these people think they're doing so much good in the world, but, like, they're just, like, they're their own, like, version of bullies.
They are.
Someone makes a simple mistake, and they just pounce on those people.
Yeah, like,
And this, in this case, is not even a mistake, but I'm just talking about, like, in other situations, right? Like the Rob Ford thing. He smoked some crack.
who hasn't smoked some crack in their
Smoked
day?
a little crack, you know?
I mean, like, it happens.
He just got caught.
He just got caught, and he happened to be the mayor. It's not a good look when you're mayor.
Not a great look,
But
but whatever.
I really admire how he stuck to his guns.
He did. And you know what? More of these companies got to just start, like, not listening to these people. Like,
Well, it's like the whole thing with Nike, right?
yeah.
When Nike had the ad with Colin Kaepernick,
Yeah.
who everybody was like, he's not in the NFL, and people were like, he's not in the NFL because he kneeled, and people were like, oh, he's not in the NFL because he's not very good.
Yeah,
and it's all this back and forth and all this crap.
That's really what it is, apparently.
And you think like Nike really cares about like social justice, right? Because the whole tagline of their ad was believe in something, even if it means giving up everything. Because like Colin Kaepernick was like, I'm gonna kneel, I'm gonna protest, police.
I'm gonna give up my NFL career.
I'll give up my NFL career.
Greater cause, even though I've made $50 million on it.
Yeah, right. Oh no, right. So, you think Nike really cared? Like, oh, social justice, just breaking my heart.
No,
I really care
you know what
so
they do?
much.
They surveyed the market and they say who's our main clientele. If it's 80% the people who don't care, like athletes kneel, and it's 20% people who do care. the amount, if we lose that 20%, that 80% will make up the 20% in their merchandise bought.
Exactly.
Because they'll be loving Nike so much.
It's all a math equation. Because then I saw stuff online of people like, I'm burning my Nikes. Like, I'm done with Nike. And then people are like, I'm going out and buying 5 pairs of Nikes.
Exactly, yeah.
But these are the same people going out and be like, I'm buying 5 pairs of Nikes. Would be the first people to, like, be like, oh, sweatshops are no good.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's all
if
like...
Nike ran
nobody
a Trump
cares.
ad, they would be burning their stuff there.
Oh, my
right?
God.
So
If it was like, Donald Trump, the
Just-
official president of Nike
just
sneakers.
make America great again.
Yeah, or if it was like Nike, the official tennis shoe of the president. Oh my God, they would be losing it. Nike, we need to replace the board of directors. Nike sucks. Blah blah blah.
The owner has to step down.
Yeah, just get over yourself.
He has to give his company away to us.
Yeah,
We deserve it more than
Social
he does.
activists need to take over Nike. They're ruining the youth. They're going to show people that the president wears shoes just like the kids. And if kids wear shoes and the president wears shoes, then they're too unlike it. I don't like it. Ridiculous. Like, isn't the world running out of stupid people? Like, come on.
There'll always be another.
You can't fix stupid.
You can't.
All right.
You know, we can pretty much wrap that up because there's going to be another one of these next week. There will be.
We'll bring it back. That's
There'll
what we
be
do on the
something.
ScruffCast.
There'll be something again.
We find the backlash. We find the fatties. We expose them. We send it to your listeners. So if you got thoughts on the fatties, you got thoughts on the backlash, email us, scruffcast@gmail.com. Or tweet us on Twitter @ScruffCast.
Or leave a comment on
Leave a
YouTube.
comment. I know you're watching on YouTube
Push
right now.
the subscribe button.
Click the subscribe. Give us a little thumb up. Just write in the comment, haha. That's all I need from you. Haha. I'll be like, warms my heart to know we're doing good work.
We have an update about one of our listeners.
Yes, you may remember, I believe 20 episodes or so ago, we had our listener, Kalon.
And we
The
informed...
Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, the Make-A-Wish.
We told you last week that
he unfortunately died.
he died.
But you'd be surprised to know that he did not die from his terminal illness.
No. How did he die, Dan?
John? He got into a fight with a female bodybuilder.
Oi.
Oi is right. She picked him up. Whoa! Slammed him right over her knee, broke his back. Kalon is dead.
Like Bane in The Dark Knight
Like
Rises?
Bane. That's essentially, he got baned. I mean, let's keep in mind, he would have died anyway.
Yeah.
He would have.
He would have.
We let him on this thing. He was in here with his IV. He was looking very ill.
He hobbled in with his cane.
He had weeks at that point. But it was a bodybuilder that did it. May Kalon rest in peace.
I wonder what he did to piss her off. Maybe he stepped on her shoes.
Yeah, something like that. I don't
Maybe
know.
she was wearing Nikes and he took offense.
He tried to burn him.
Don't wear those while they're on her feet.
He seemed like a Trump lover, that kid.
All right. I guess on to the hero and jabroni of the week.
Oh,
that bodybuilder might very much be the hero. Just, trying to put him out of his misery, but... All right. On to the hero of the week.
Okay, so we'll go with jabronis first. John?
Oh yeah, we always like to end it on a good note.
Yeah, we try our best to end on a good note. John, who's your jabroni of the week?
This is a tough pick because I feel like there's so many jabronis out there. I almost want to pick Weight Watchers for just trying to bend into the will, but the CEO did admit she wanted to stay relevant, so she's being a little transparent. I gotta pick Mr. Bacon the Lobster Lady.
Spot on.
Oh, Charlotte's legendary lobster pound.
Spot on. She is also my jabroni
of the week.
Also my jabroni.
Yes.
All right, your hero.
Hero of the week. This is a tough one. I feel like there weren't too many heroes. Maybe the, CBC people who went undercover trying to expose Ticketmaster. But I'm kind of over Ticketmaster. I'm like, ugh. They just got the stink on them. I don't even like them.
Disgusted.
So I got to give my hero of the week to the lady trying to save the pets.
Yes.
Oh, Hedges.
We are in sync here.
Way to go, Hedges. If you're still out there, the hurricane hasn't swept you away, email us, scruffcast@gmail.com, and we'll send you a prize. That's a new thing we should do. If the hero of the week's out there and they listen to the podcast, email us and verify that you're the person who's the hero.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll send you something or do something. You get a certificate, official hero of the week.
Certificate.
Yeah, you have to print it out yourself.
Okay.
But I don't like that idea.
We'll just email it to you.
Yeah, we'll email it to you.
All right.
Official
I
hero
like sense of that. Also my hero of the week. Take your pets with you, you morons.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, and our question upon it for next week.
Yes. Speaking of animals, it's been a very animal-centric episode.
This has been a good one. I've been enjoying it. Okay, our question upon it for next week is, if you could breed a hybrid animal of any two species, what two would you choose?
If I chose lobster and marijuana as a hybrid, does that work?
Marijuana is not an animal. So
okay.
No.
Just checking for the listeners who I'm sure we're going to write in with that quippy.
Yeah.
That quippy answer. All right.
That's it. We have nothing left. We got off to a rough start, and we finished strong.
Yeah, not bad. Listeners, you got an extra long episode this week. Over an hour.
What are we at?
Over an hour.
Over an hour?
Damn, you guys are so spoiled.
Yeah, this is 15 minutes more than we're getting paid for.
Share the magic of the ScruffCast with your friends.
That's it. We're cutting you off now. Thanks for listening, everybody. Oh, you want to... Yeah. Share with your friends.
Oh, yeah. Share with your friends. I know you have friends who haven't heard of the ScruffCast. We don't have 7 billion listeners. So there's people out there who don't know the ScruffCast.
Every friend has a friend who has a friend.
Exactly.
We could get everybody.
We got to get this network
Everybody
effect.
knows somebody.
Exactly. What does they say? The 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right? It's it goes from certain actors. It's if you connect them, they can all make their way back to Kevin Bacon. The same thing is true with people. If somebody listens to the show who knows somebody, who knows somebody, who knows somebody. So if you work your way through it, we can get pretty much anybody we want on the podcast. And I know exactly who I want. The number one person, if we could have anybody, as the third chair on the podcast.
Really?
Kanye West.
Oh.
I'd love to hear his thoughts on a lot of our topics.
I'm on board.
All right. Well.
Okay. That's the end of this episode 37 of the ScruffCast. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you next week. As I'm watching her go, all I'm thinking is, oh damn, that bad thing. I can tell you're really good at distracting.
Who hasn't smoked some crack in their day?
Smoked a little crack,
I mean, it happens.